The Empire is back, and I'm so glad. Not because I support the Empire or anything like that, but because we finally get to feel the threat of an Empire again within Star Wars. Because the last time I felt a threat like this was in Rogue One, which was released in 2017. And the First Order didn't exactly fill in those shoes of being threatening. And despite seeing the Empire's shadow literally cast over the planet Janix, you could tell that the show is going to go in a lot more darker tone or direction from here on out. Especially with the new Inquisitor character we have named Merrick. And you could just tell by his design and just by his presence in the first few minutes of screen time he gets that he means business, and he's not as merciful as any other Inquisitor we've seen in the past. And they do a good job of illustrating the idea of showing instead of telling how threatening he is. Because we get a scene where the captor higher up than Lawson gets interrogated, but she doesn't come back out. And then when we finally get Lawson in that same interrogation room, we can see scratch marks on the interrogation table, which implies that that former captain tried to struggle or try to fight Merrick, and he basically ended her. And in that same scene, they also have a shot of him coming out of the shadows behind Lawson and putting his hands on his shoulder, basically securing him down in there, putting pressure onto him, just as the Empire is putting pressure on planet Janix to find Maul. And I really like this scene because it shows that, hey, your captain friend tried to do something, don't you try anything. Instead of Merrick flat out saying, oh, I killed your friend, and the same thing will happen to you if you try anything. And speaking of pressure on Devin and Daki's side of things, they're trying to find a way to get off of Janix, but they can't because the Empire has already locked down most of the planet. So they can't get out by spaceship, and they can't get out by train to go to another part of the planet. And I like this scene because it does a really good job of illustrating just how big the Empire is. Because now Devin and Daki are definitely relating to planet Janix, as they are both now outmanned and out-resourced by the Empire itself. Meanwhile, on Maul's side of things, although the Empire wasn't exactly a part of his plans, he sees this as an opportunity rather than a bump in the road, as he's going to use the Empire's presence to further show Devin that he's right and what he was telling her in previous episodes, that he's not her enemy, that the Empire is. Or that there's something much bigger out there that's your enemy. And he's also going to probably use this as an opportunity to train her and use, life or death situations that the Empire might bring her as an excuse for her and Maul to team up. So he's basically just using this whole situation to his advantage, even though it wasn't part of his plan. And I really like this here because it shows that Maul doesn't crack under pressure like he might have used to during the Clone Wars. He's much more calculated now, he's much more calm now, and he has much more adaptability. Now, one thing these two episodes really do a good job at is showing that whenever someone's plans fail, things get even worse as long as the Empire or that higher power is around. For example, we have Devin and Daki trying to take refuge within Captain Lawson's home, but that plan is foiled by Merrick, who tracks them down within that home, which causes them to be endlessly pursued by the Inquisitors and the rest of the Empire. Things go even worse as Devin is able to take control over one of the Old Republic ships that the Empire is currently using, and instead of being able to escape the Empire and get off the planet like any other Disney Plus show would have allowed them to do, they actually get shot down here, which foils their plans even more, so they kind of have to come up with something else on the fly here. And I really like this because, again, it shows how much of a threat the Empire is and just how out-resourced and outmatched and outgunned that everyone else is compared to them. Now, eventually the group gets split up and Darth Maul ends up having to save Devin from the Inquisitor Merrick. And I really like this battle because it shows them kind of holding back at first, kind of just testing each other's abilities and fighting style with the lightsabers. And I just gotta say, the choreography here is amazing because they both start off with single blades, and then once things get really intense, they do the double blades. Now, there's a shot in particular I like. It's a overview shot of both of them on different sides. One showing the old era, which is Maul, and the new era, which is Maverick. But the thing I like about this shot here is that when they're spinning their lightsabers, Maul spins his manually with his hands, whereas the Inquisitor has the automatic spinner within his lightsabers doing it for him. And this is just an example of them doing another great job of showing instead of telling that there's a skill gap that's clearly between these two fighters here. Maul is more experienced with older techniques because he does his techniques manually, while the Inquisitor here is maybe someone a lot younger and he has newer techniques, which makes his lightsaber basically do all the fighting for him because everything is automated within it. And the fact that you're trained with a lightsaber but you can't spin your own lightsaber without having a machine automatically do it for you just really shows the skill gap between the Inquisitor and Maul here. And after their duel, Maul basically tells Devin that she finally has seen the true face of her true enemy. And I like this scene here because it shows that Devin is starting to realize that maybe Maul wasn't spewing nonsense the whole time, that maybe he was actually right. There is something much bigger than the black and white thinking that she's been having of just, oh, I'm a Jedi and Darth Maul is just evil. Now I've actually seen who the true enemy is, and it's not Maul. And this whole situation, I believe, is actually going to force them to kind of team up here a bit because they need each other for survival, and Maul doesn't want to see Devin's potential go to waste. So this will be the perfect opportunity to train her and the survival skills that she already have and amplify them by 100. And Maul and Devin spending much more time together now might also make Devin shift her mindset into how the way Maul thinks now. And we kind of been shown this earlier in the episodes because she's having a conversation with Daki and she's starting to question whether Maul really makes sense or not, but she's kind of leaning towards that Maul's words does make sense. Overall, I give episodes 5 and 6 a perfect score of 10 out of 10. I really love the pacing around this time around is much better than last week's pairs of episodes where it was too fast. This one was kind of still fast a little bit, but not too fast. Everything kind of wraps up nicely, and the show has taken a much more darker tone because of the Empire shadow that has now been casted over planet Janix. So I can't wait to see what they do with this storyline going further. So that's going to be about it for this review. If you've seen these 2 episodes already, let me know what you think in the comment section below. And be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I make new videos. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.